Okay, move on.
Thank you for the permission to come back and continue. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to hand you guys today, is the idea of well-formed outcomes. We have a lot of issues going on at the moment with, for us, we're doing the, what's Carol Sapp doing? Thank you. Assessment. All I could get was the A, and I was blanking. A little deletion there going on. With our assessment, we have the beginnings of something headed towards looking at well-formed outcomes. One of the possible interventions we can do when we have a problem is build a desired state with a well-formed desired state. We can figure out where we're at the moment, list the present state, and figure out how we're going to get from where we are to where we want to be. The whole idea of a road trip. It's no good having a map and knowing where you are if you don't know where you're going, or vice versa, knowing where you're going and not knowing where you're at. So, we kind of have to know where we're going. Going Fort Lauderdale. Where are we? We're in bumfuck Indiana. Where are we going to do? We're going to drive. So, the other aspect of this is that this we could look at as a feedback loop. Continually assessing where we're at, what we need to do to get to our desired state. So, this all rests on knowing where we're going. So, one of the common forms of well-formed outcomes in business, I've seen this, is SMART. Specific, which means you can say it unambiguously. Measurable or meaningful. It's the fun thing about these acronyms. You can put whatever you want in there depending on the day. Which means that it's sensory-based, ecological. We'll talk about these in a second when we get over to the more NLP version. Achievable, it's under our own control. Realistic, humanly possible. And timed, which means we actually have a deadline, we actually have some sort of time aspect to it. The more NLP version, we have some other aspects that go in here. The first is it's stated in positives, what we do want, not what we don't want. This is one that tends to trip people up. They start with, I don't want to have this cold anymore. Well, that doesn't give you any direction. It just gives you away from the cold instead of towards something else. So, that's often where people start, is what we don't want. To get it well-formed, we want to turn that around and turn it into what we do want. Typically, both of them tied together get us a better propulsion system. Away from one thing, towards something else. Initiated and maintained by the individual, not, I want her cold to go away. What can I do that might help her cold go away? Has to be something that you have control over. Something testable in experience, sensory-based. What would you see, hear, feel, smell, taste, when you've reached this goal? Ecological, this is an NLP idea that sounds a lot like when we talk about Save the Planet ecology, in that we have to look at the whole person, their whole internal and external world, and make sure that this outcome is going to not only get us what we think we want in our well-formed outcome, but that it maintains the positive things that we currently have, and that it doesn't alienate everyone around us. So, you may decide that your goal is to work out for 6 hours a day. Some people have that goal. If you're Arnold, it might work. The Galvaneta. So, you decide 6 hours a day is my goal, and I can see that it's initiated and maintained by me, it's positive. Check the ecology. Well, if you're single, if you don't have a job, you might actually be able to do this. Either of those might, either having some relationship beyond a dog, and having an 8-hour-a-day job, you might actually have issues with the external ecology. It may be that this impinges on the relationships that you have. So that would kind of be a tie, both of them. We'd be losing the current positive of that relationship in the aspect of time, of energy, of whatever. So here are our main ideas for well-formed outcomes.